beautiful organization, K.I.T.E.S Education. K.I.T.E.S Education is a platform for intelligent and skillful minds, comprising schools, educators, professionals, students, and their parents, and erudites corporate pillars to edify a revolutionary mechanism. We extend our services to next realms of education to create, enact, and establish new dimensions in the education system for the commonweal. We are researching K-12 education by accelerating a grassroots movement in the conglomerating stakeholders of education to foster a pedagogically sound, ambitious, inspiring, plausible innovation driven by knowledge, technology, entrepreneurship, and sportsmanship with a desire to metamorphose current educational institutions into a futuristic center of excellence, to make every day count in each child's life by facilitating more creative, opportunity-oriented environment, which is imperative for 21st century society and economy. The purpose of K.I.T.E.S is to assist children in realizing their true potential, passion, and purpose in life. K.I.T.E.S will aid students in their holistic development and be masters of K.I.T.E.S, which stands for knowledge, innovation, technology, entrepreneurship, and sportsmanship. For this, we will act as an instrument to provide the children-centric, passion, skill-based, and hands-on practice learning. We find unique talent in every child by establishing equity in education. We create visionary leaderships at every level, any ambitious and impactful education system that is globally effective. Now, we want to discuss what the problem is in reaching our goal. And the problem is that the purpose of we're losing the luster these days. We're unable to help students identify and discover their intellect required to survive and succeed in 21st century. Consequently, there's continuous degradation of the potential workforce to serve social, cultural, and economic environmental needs. Now, we are searching for solutions, and UA Incubated is the right solution. We recreate the methodology and the core of education and make it simple, fun, and holistic. We reevaluate every aspect of education to eliminate the practices outlived from teachers, professionals' development to child's personalized learning. Now, I hope I have gotten all of your attention to me. And now it's time to welcome our beautiful and informative speaker, Mr. Dilbagh Singh. Mr. Dilbagh Singh is the director of Brainpower Private Services Limited. He is a corporate trainer, a counselor at heart, and a public speaker. He has an ample of experience of training and counseling and guiding teachers, parents, and students. He, with his team of Brainpower, have served various schools and universities in Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Jammu and Kashmir, the state that I belong to. He has been conducting interactive and training workshops with teachers, parents, and students of each and every age group. Now, I would like to mention a few colleges and schools Mr. Respected Dilbagh Singh has worked in. It includes Oak Ridge International School, Cambridge International School, St. Paul's International School. Now, his realms of expertise is so many, but I would like to mention a few. In case of students, it's peers pressure, it's a digital world, anger management, stress management, time management, empathy. And in case of teachers, it's how to be an effective counselor, role of teacher as a leader, empathy and social communication skills, and how to handle attention deficit hyperactive children. Now, with all that said, Mr. Dilbagh Singh, I welcome you once again, and please, I would hand over the mic to you. Please enlighten us with all of the knowledge that you have got. Thank you, Mr. Dilbagh Singh.
Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible, and that's very important. And I welcome. Yes, okay, thank you. I welcome all of the people from all over the India, and few people sometime in such kind of webinar they come from outside outside India. Thank you. Good afternoon, Brijesh. Anjali, yes, thank you, Anjali. So number of you, yeah, Indira, Priyadarshini, yes, thank you very much. So It's a great occasion, right? Right. Rashid Hussain. Volume is low. I mean, I would ask the backend team to just, take care of the technicalities, because from here, from my side, it's wonderfully done. Sure. Johar Shira. Okay. Jolar Shira. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Deep. Okay. Deb Debjani Mitra. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Inderjeet Sharma has just joined, right? Madhusri. Okay. Great. Somebody has raised the hand. Yeah, you want to share something? Okay. So my dear friends, it's a beautiful Jagmohan Singh. Okay, good Jagmohan ji. Come on. Shamim Ahmed. Good afternoon. Dr. Meenakshi Narula. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see you. So all active teachers. And what I personally believe, Karamjeet Singh, right? You seem to be from Punjab or Haryana. Great. Uh, Pooja Giri, Bilal Ahmed. Okay, Rachna Sharma. Great, great. Good afternoon to every one of you. It's a great pleasure to interact with the teachers always. I started my career also. Okay, this is a Philomena D'Souza. Okay, good afternoon. Rajvinder Kaur again, one from Punjab, right? So people from different area, different Maharana, okay, Pratiksha, right? And I'm in Gurmeet Kaur. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shivani Ghosh. Great. Seems you from West Bengal. Okay, great. Dr. Meenakshi Narula. I know NCR Gurugram. I think we have been okay. Aparna Prabhu. Thank you very much. You almost around 40 teachers from all over India. Gokul, great. Right. Free soul. Thank you. Wonderful welcome from all of you. Wonderful welcome from all of you. Thank you from Dibrugarh. Okay, Varanasi. Anurag Singh from Varanasi. Anjali. Great. So today's topic is a topic which is very close to my heart, and I would love to interact with all of you, and I would love to engage with you, because what I believe, a facilitator is actually always a learner. Facilitator is never he never becomes, or she never becomes a master. He or she always remains learner, because once we work as a facilitator, the topic of the day, right, that is basically to increase the effective facilitating skills. And I'm 100% sure you all have been working as a facilitator. There's no question about it, because the people who are here around 47, they all are great facilitators. I can never underestimate a teacher, because whosoever becomes a teacher and on Sunday he or she is engaged in a workshop also, that's very important, right? Yes, that's simple. Because one of you have talked about collaboration. What I believe personally, after working as a teacher in the school, I was very young, 23 years old lad, passed out from Punjab University with a lot of flair, with a book in my hand written. It's a autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi, right? Mr. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. The book, My Experiments with Truth, right? That was my one of the favorite books which I read in my, apart from my syllabus. And I went all over to Lucknow. I traveled by bus. I reached Kamarganj. I was so enthralled. I was so highly motivated. This I can still feel that vibration in me, that I'm going to teach students of fourth standard, fifth standard, ninth standard, right? And later on, then I entered into a PG category, postgraduate teacher, and then again in colleges and corporates and a lot of things. But I believe that facilitating skills, my dear friends, are one of the most important skills a teacher generally acquires throughout her career. That's very important, because every day we do not teach, we do facilitate. And in 21st century, as Yovel Harari says, that it is a situation where things are uncertain, things are ambiguous, things are volatile, things are vulnerable. You can see around, like almost 1 year the students have been away from the classes, though few schools started in between and they gave few, offline classes. But again, things are in doldrums. I mean, we are not even sure that when we are going to restart our curriculum. So here the role of a teacher becomes more important. What I believe, nothing can replace teachers, whether it is artificial intelligence algorithm, or so many lectures available on the YouTube or everywhere on internet. What a teacher can do, a computer can never do. Yes, computer can be informative, yes, it can give information, and today's purpose of a teacher is not giving information. So that's why we have chosen this particular, subject, teacher having facilitating skills. And I'm a great fan of Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Abul Pakir Jainul Abdin Abdul Kalam, one of my finest, teacher. He always taught me through his books. you know I have learned from Professor Satish Dhawan, again through his books. I have learned from Martin Luther King the junior, Mr. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, whom we all also call Mahatma Gandhi. These all people have written books after long experience, and their experiences tell that they all learned through experiential learning. And today, four C's are very important. First C is collaborative skills. Right? It's very important that we need to teach these students. First, I need to teach myself to be collaborative. So those collaborative skills are always needed for me as a teacher. Right? Second is critical thinking skills. Critical thinking skills simply means, first analyzing the thing, observing the thing, reasoning the things, then finding solution, data interpretation, right? How we study data, and then afterwards, how we find the solutions, and after solution, what kind of decisions we make, and then do we take some follow-ups afterwards? So critical thinking skill, again, a big C in my life, right? So first is collaborative skills, because only collaboration can keep us alive. So rather than highly competitive word, we need collaboration right now, right? In the 21st century, collaborative skills are more important than critical thinking skills. Can I see myself in a critical manner? Can I develop a black box in me? Do I have an active black box? And all you learned, worthy teachers and educators, you know very well that this air, civil aviation, it's a beautiful, wonderful book written by, one of, Matthew Hayden. So he has written a wonderful book on black box thinking. It simply means, may I learn from my failures? And facilitation always allow me to learn from my failures, because facilitation simply means you will be committing mistakes, students will be committing mistake, I will be committing mistakes, and after my mistakes I will be learning. That is called experiential learning. So that kind of critical thinking skills I need today, every student needs today. That can I evaluate myself, can I analyze myself, can I find my mistakes, can I learn from those mistakes? It's a wonderful example. Abraham Waltz in 1950 and 1940, 3, during the Second World War, there were so many planes, airplanes, fighter planes. Though it got introduced in First World War also, but in Second World War it was used quite enthusiastically and played an important role. But the casualty was very high, very high in Second World War. All the pilots and crew members were known as, walking ghosts, because casualty was very high. If 10 planes are going for, going for the sorties, only few, are going to come back. The casualty was more than 25%. So it was very high, very high. So that is called very, very important, very important. And then, they all people, created a think tank, and they started working on it. How can we reduce this casualty? How can we save these pilots? It's way back in early 40s. And then very fast, all the physicists, theoretical physicists, mechanical engineers, all people got together, and they found those planes who have returned back. Those returned back, planes were badly hit by the bullets. 90% area of the all planes, those planes who returned back after, combating, after, shelling, they were studied thoroughly, and they thought that we need to put lot of armor around these planes. They put armor, they made it more safe, but the planes became heavier. Casualty was same, nothing changed. Then this Abraham Waltz gave an idea to everyone why we are looking for those planes which have come back after combating. They said these are the planes which are the actual model. He said yes, these are the actual model, but we need to find the wreckage of those planes who have been shot down. Why don't we find our own planes which have been shot down in our area of our enemy planes? They brought those planes together, they assembled, and what they found, wherever bullets was not hit, he suggested let's make plane more powerful on those area where bullets have not hit, because that is the area where these planes are being hidden, and that's why they are not coming back after the operation. And immediately they took the action, and that 10% of area got extra armor. Rest they left, because those planes can return, those planes can come back. And the result was astonishing. 27% of casualty came down from 27 to only, 8 or 9%. It was a remarkable achievement. The same man was responsible for finding black box. And that black box is available in every plane. So that's why the casualty in the civil aviation is 0.027%, which is very, very less as compared to other professions. Reason, they believe in black box thinking. Whenever any plane crashes or anything happens, they first locate the black box, they study, they read it, they analyze it, and they find that where the mistake has happened. And next time they try not to repeat those mistakes. But you can see all around in the hospitals, in judiciary system, in police system, everywhere, we always, passing the buck. Okay, passing the buck. Okay, passing the buck. That's why what I believe, my dear friends, we need to create that black box in our students also. Between my 2 years, there is a black box. It's there in my frontal cortex. It is there in my corpus callosum. It is there in my hippocampus. It is there in my limbic brain. It is always there in my gray matter, where I can reason out those things, that what wrong I did. Because I'm working with not a lot of people who are suffering from addiction. In North India is badly affected by substance addiction, and I have done 10 years of research in this, why these students fall prey to such kind of activities. 33% of youth taste alcohol and other, intoxicating agents before the age of 16. And this data was provided by All India Institute of, Medical Science, Delhi. And I cannot disprove this data. It is available on the net also. Why the 30% of youth is hooked on to such kind of activities which are going to reduce, their chances in the future. Why? Reason, somewhere we are missing out the things. Are we more into cramming? Are we more into board teaching? Are we more into now technology? Are we more dependent? Of course, after this COVID, we are more dependent on, again, on screen sharing, on these, virtual learning. But are we producing human, or we are going to produce only machines, right? Which has no emotions, which has no critical thinking analysis, which doesn't have even black box. So, my dear friends, critical thinking analysis and collaborative skills These two skills are extremely important, because black box thinking is part of critical thinking, and how it can be generated. Communication is very important. The way we are communicating, it's very important, because the way I'm communicating to you, I use language, I use body language, I use verbal cues, I use, my eyeballs, I use every part of my body. But another is intrapersonal communication skills. Intrapersonal means, how do I communicate with myself? And how many of our students are engaged into this particular specific activity, learning from myself? Do I engage myself, or I'm always engaged specifically with the technology nowadays? Sometime YouTube, then WhatsApp, then Facebook, then Instagram. No doubt these are very important, only till it remains our, we become the master and it is the servant. But once it becomes the master, way back, in my I mean, I'm 50 years old, so I mean, when I was in, I think, seventh or eighth standard, we used to get an essay on, is television a bane or a boon? क्या जो जो टेलीविजन है, जो दूरदर्शन है, क्या ये एक आविष्कार, अभिशाप है, या एक बहुत बड़ा आशीर्वाद है? Is it a bane or a boon? Now we need to decide, because how much I am dependent on television, that is my own curiosity. Do I have that intrapersonal skills? So being a teacher, kindly give some emphasis to give on intrapersonal skills. Do our students meditate? Do they regularly meditate? Do they play games regularly? Do they play games regularly in their homes? Because the latest research has given wonderful, that our nerve cells are rejuvenated once, if I take my breathing rate 220 minus my age. Yani, for example, my age is 50 years. 220 minus 50, 170. So my heart can bear 170 beats per minute, per minute, and that is very important. That's very important. If my heart, I can raise the level of my heartbeat to 170. A student of 10 years, 12 years, they can raise their heartbeat to 200. So at least 70 to 80% of the remaining part. For example, 220 minus 15, 205, and the 80% of it, that means 160 to 170. Do they really run for that? Do they really play that, with that zest and enthusiasm, so that they can grow up their nerve cells, nerve stem cells, even they can increase the gray matter? Because these things are interrelated, and teachers can always and always, they can always encourage. So my dear friends, collaborative skills, critical thinking skills, communication skills. And I'm not talking communication when I communicating with you. I'm giving more emphasis on my intrapersonal communication skills. How do I communicate with myself? How do I communicate with myself? My students, do they communicate with themselves? Do they have that kind of black box thinking? Do they learn from their own mistakes? Last but not least, creative skills. Apart from social study, economics, science, mathematics, so many subjects, computer, and whatnot. But are they really learning into these four skills? Collaborative, critical, communication, and creative? Because in such kind of volatile situation, you need to have resilience also. If there is no resilience, how these students are going to survive in the future? Why the suicide rates are increasing? Why in every country? Why the students are suffering from panic attacks, from anxiety? So many issues are coming nowadays. Reason: lack of intrapersonal communication. Interpersonal, something between A and B, but intrapersonal between A and A. I mean, can I evaluate myself? Can I see myself? Am I aware about my own thinking pattern? So that is very important. And once I go to the facilitating skill, a facilitator is always aware about the potential of the students in the classroom. Suppose if you are handling around 130 or 140 students, and you're in a class where 40 students are there, where you visit every day or every second day or 5 times in a week, you generally come to know the potential of those students within few weeks or 1 month or 2 months. And then you can engage them, you can involve them in various experiential learning. And of course you have been doing, I cannot say that you have not been doing, but do we give more emphasis on that? And of course there is a question of, completing the syllabus also, cramming the things also, and completing that deadlines also. But do we have that kind of, passion to come out of our classrooms and start facilitating those students once in a week, once in fortnight, or twice in fortnight, so that they can be engaged in kind of some kind of, those collaborative activities, critical thinking, analysis. Suppose if you're a student of economics, so those economics, yes, there's definitely, I will handle your questions between facilitator and mentor. I'll definitely talk in the end. But here we need to carry on with the subject, right? That is very important. For example, if I say teacher is going according to the syllabus, but facilitator always helps them to explore. Facilitator is more into exploring, and teacher is more into syllabus, and then teacher is more into, giving information or knowledge, and on the other hand facilitator is more into providing situation and creating active learning. Providing situation and creating active learning. Let's now do it here only. Wherever you are sitting, where you are standing, I'm standing, you might be sitting in your chair. First I will give you one example, and then I will come to this activity, very important activity, and you yourself will understand what is the difference between a teacher gives syllabus, but facilitator provides situation, right? And then teacher gives students, facilitator engage students in the different activities, and then planning, organizing, dividing in them into the small groups and giving them the group task. That is very important for a facilitator, that you bring them into a situation, whether you are science, social study, economics. Are you collecting data from the market? Are you going to the people? Are you asking them? Are you creating, after creating that data, can you analyze those data? And then after analyzing those data, what truth has come to you? How do you understand that price goes up and demand goes down, and price goes down and demand goes up, and other things remains constant? That is the only way to learn the law of demand? No, there are so many practical ways to learn law of demand. In the same way, in science and mathematics, and once you are exploring your subject, surely my dear friends, you all, for example in psychology, do we provide them in school only, go and gather data, or is it just for 25 or 30 marks, and in the end they are going somewhere making those, practical files and bringing them and giving them? So that is what I want to say, that such kind of critical thinking, analysis, collaborative skill, where few students get together in a group. Second, facilitator never point out a student you are right or wrong. That is a very, very, in our education system, whenever anybody raises question or gives wrong answer, all of a sudden that person is, laughed at. Either all the students laugh at that person. For example, I give one situation. There was a classroom and so many students were sitting. These all were, 7 8 years, a student of third standard. They all were sitting in the classroom and enjoying. All of a sudden one inspector came in the classroom and started inspecting the class, and he asked those students, okay, how old you all are? They said, we 10 years old, 11 years old. He said, okay, what is the meaning of career? Now it was India, and career, this is a pronunciation, it's a different mode of pronunciation. And he again asked, what do you understand by the career? So one of the student raised hand. Slowly he said, okay, you want to answer? He said yes. He got up, he said, my father rides a bicycle and my mother sits behind, and that is called carrier. He said, come on, stupid, sit down. Don't you understand the meaning of career? that boy is little bit, squish and is little bit shy, embarrassed, and he's quiet. And then he again asked the same question. What do you mean by career? Can one of you can talk about career? Don't you know even the meaning of career? Again, the same student raised his hand. He said, okay, again you? Okay, get up. What's your name? My name is Dilbagh. Okay, you tell me. Oh, I have seen on the trucks generally it is written goods carrier, and everybody again laughed. There was a boisterous laugh, and again the same inspector asked the teacher, what do you teach these students? He asked the student, don't you understand the meaning of career? He said, this is what I understand. He said, no, this is not the way, you don't know. And then all of a sudden he started thinking, oh, career means may I go to become a doctor, an engineer, or IMA or NDA and IAS? Yes. What kind of profession am I going to join? That's my career. And he started raising hand. One of the students sitting beside him said, don't do it again. People will laugh at you. People will make mockery of you. People will start, teasing you, bullying you. Do not say again and again wrong answers. That boy didn't raise hand. And possibly that boy would have never been raised hands in his life, because he gave perhaps right answer from his side, but his answer was not accurate. So many times I have visualized in my own classrooms. So many times I have seen in my own classroom, my dear friends. I am a master of my subject, but the kid who is sitting there next to me might have been coming from different position, different things. Have a different type of, background. His father might be an alcoholic, because 30 to 40% of the students in India, in Asian country, they suffer from home abuses. Sometimes mom is suffering from depression, dad is into alcohol, or there are financial crises, or there are, a lot of, family politics, and then there and a child start manipulating the things, and sometimes he may not be able to perform in the classroom. I'm looking after those 30 to 40% of students who are not able to do studies at their own, my dear friends. 10 to 15 to 20% students may be able to become IAS, IPS, MBA, engineers. They may join ISRO, NASA, because they would do it. They have that value. They know it very well. Their home might be providing that kind of, environment. But what about those 30, 40% of the students who are roaming in the streets, who are honking horns, who are trying to bully others? Being a facilitator, we can engage those students into group learning. We can engage those students into collaborative learning. That collaborative learning, in their learning also, those students start creating ruckus. But after few, I was watching a movie Mashal other day with Dilip Kumar and Anil Kapoor. It's an old movie where he worked with a goon, and that goon turns into a well learned journalist. It does happen in life also, but we need to become a facilitator, not a teacher, because a facilitator always plan his studies. He or she always engages student. And my dear friends, I know 100% that you all people are applying these fundamentals. I'm not the only one who's doing it, but this career and career, it always remembers me. It always gives me kind of thinking that sometimes those students might be having low EQ, emotional quotient, due to their home environment. And I'm looking, you may agree with me. Those 40% students who are underachiever, those are the real students where a teacher needs to reach. 10 to 15% students who can perform themselves, they are intrinsically driven, they are intrinsically motivated, their neurocircuits are fully engaged, their frontal cortex, their gray matter is very good. They do not need any kind of support. They can do themselves. Even those are benefited by the facilitator. But more, more, those 40, 30% student who are underachievers, Sometimes we call them naughty. Sometimes we call them ADHD, attention deficit hyper disorder. Sometimes we call them mild dyslexia. Sometimes we give them different tags, but I don't know. Once you facilitate and you agree with me, those teachers who are there behind those cameras, 70 teachers, why these 70 teachers are engaged? Because they are learners. Because on Sunday, it is mid noon, it is mid afternoon, and you are sitting in front of your digital screens and you are listening me, so called a friend of yours who has come and going to share some kind of his experiences with you, because number of you might be master, you might be knowing much more than me. It's just a sharing platform, right? One very good example I will give you. I give this example to everyone. Possibly today also few are going to repeat. I mean, there are few who joined my last sessions also, and this time also, and definitely my dear friends who are repeating it, they will be learning things in a new manner, because today my start has been altogether different, you know. So there is a one story, very beautiful story. There was a dark pitch night. It was night, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, wintry night. And Dilbagh is, outside. There is a garden. As we watch these television, we watch matches, IPL matches, Okay, dark pitch outside, foggy, dark night. There is a lamp post, huge lamp post, and it is giving enough good light in 20 square yard area around. You can make it 10 square yard, okay? 20 square yard area, and this is providing a very good, very beaming light. And Dilbagh is searching something. He's looking at the grass very keenly, and one of you come, and he asks, for example, Deep comes to me. There's a Mr. Deep, Deep comes to me and he says, okay, what you're searching, Dilbagh? I said, yeah, I have lost my keys. He says, okay, I will help you to find it out. He starts searching keys with me, and we both are searching those keys. But this, by the way, another Maneet came, and then Arvinder came, and then Subramaniam came, and number of my 20 people living around me, my neighbor, they all came. What is happening, Dilbagh? I lost my keys. I lost my keys. Okay, let's search. Each and every blade of the grass is visible. It's very clear, very clear. And it's a bunch of, keys, not a small. I said it is bunch. He said, but everywhere things are so clear. We are not, I mean, able to locate. Where did you lose it? Where did you lost it? Where? I said, actually, I lost my keys inside my home. They said, oh my God, what a joker, Dilbagh, you are. You lost your keys outside, inside your room, and you're searching outside. I said, actually, there's electricity failure in my room, so there was a lot of light outside. I came outside and started searching my keys here. They said, come on, Maneet and Deep, they arranged. They said, okay, bring one matchbox. They took the matchbox. They took me into the room, and you know, enough light, enough light in a room with one matchstick, enough light. And immediately he said, okay, it is there. And he picked up the keys and handed it over to me. I said, okay. He said, while going back, he gave me one advice, Dilbagh, whenever anything is lost inside, kindly do not search it outside. I again gave the same logic. I said, but there's electricity failure inside, and outside there's ample light. He said, agree. You lost your keys inside. You can create light inside. I said, yes. I never thought it. And my dear friend, that is called intrapersonal communication. Do I communicate with myself? Do my students communicate with them? They are lost. They are lost. They are lost. They are lost in media. They are lost in jungle. They are lost in Instagram. They are lost. They do not have time. Even they do have time, they put those earbuds into their ear and they start listening to the music. Even when they go for run, I am a marathon runner. I run 21 kilometers. This year I have planned to run 42 kilometers. So I have seen my daughter started running with me. I asked my daughter after a few days, after a few months, she put those earphone in her. I said, can't you keep yourself away from these earbuds for few hours? She said, it helps me. I said, it helps you, but it kills your ability to talk to yourself. You're looking things outward, outward, outward. Can you be with yourself? She said, what are this? Why should I be with myself? I said, how you're going to get resilience, how you're going to have critical thinking skills, how you're going to communicate yourself. You do not communicate with yourself. You do not meditate. She said, but I said, always you are extrovert, going out, going out, going out. There must be some time where you need to go in. So that's very important in this era, my dear friends. When you go for facilitating, you always ask the student to go inside. They start searching themselves, because facilitating skills simply means providing situation and creating active learning. Facilitating always help to explore, because they start asking questions, and those questions are raised among themselves. Here I will do some activity and you all will be participating. Okay, I'll give one example. Now wherever you are sitting, for example, at this time I have this paper. Okay, I have this one of the phone handset with me. Okay, there's one charger. Okay, these all things are, there's one thing, one belt. There's one, this uh, I mean, it can hold some paper. Okay, I have my so many things around me. So for example, if I pick this paper, it's an example. How do I relate myself with this paper? One similarity and one dissimilarity. It's abstract thinking skill. So if I say that, okay, if I pick this paper and I say, how do I relate this with me? I say, yeah, uh, this paper I can write a few things on this, and in the same way, I can also write few things, so many things in myself. The way I have coded things in this, in the similar manner I can code few things in myself. And secondly, this if I say that dissimilarity, I will say that this is a material thing, and it is very very white. It's off white or white, and my color is different. So I mean, it can have different notions. For example, I can have anything. There is a charger. Is there any similarity between me and this charger? Yes, there's a similarity. It helps to charge phone, and I help to charge my students, to motivate my students. I can also instill that energy in my student. Whenever a student is feeling bored, or a student is feeling, he's going through some bad patch, I can charge him. I can charge up him with my energy. And the dissimilarities, yeah, it depends on the electricity. And as far as myself is concerned, I can get this energy by just meditating. I need a source which is almighty. It can be nature, it can be anything. So if there would be 100 people, everyone will be coming out with the different kind of, his or her notion, and we must respect one another. So now I will ask you to perform this activity. Kindly stick to this activity only. Whatever you are having, a pen, a charger, a paper, a paperweight, a belt, anything. I can have a purse, I can have a necktie. So, what are the similarity? One similarity and one dissimilarity. You can use it as a metaphor, as a simile. I mean, you can use it, as a philosophical way of telling the thing, or you can tell it in the scientific way. It is all up to you. Kindly unmute yourself, and I would love to see your video also if you can, and come out with one similarity and dissimilarity. Kindly, let's now 5 to 10 minutes are given to you, one by one. I welcome you, any one of you. Come on. unmute yourself?
Hello, sir. Could you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, Ms. Indra. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Indra. Indra Subramanian from Puducherry. It's a nice session. So I used to connect myself to my earphones. So your earphones are giving messages to my ears. It's telling a lot of information to myself. Likewise, I'm going to give more information to myself. I'm going to talk to myself. So this was my similarity. And what the dissimilarity I find is it's just a machine. It's just connect when it is connected only it's giving the informations, but I myself always connected to myself. Thank you.
Thank you. So nice of you. What do you teach, ma'am?
I'm a primary school teacher.
Great. I mean, you are the most important teacher, that means, because those are the formative years. Those are the most important years. First 8 years are the most important because when a child is born, he's born with only 25% of brain, and rest of the 75% of brain is, developed outside the womb of the mother. And you people, primary teachers, become the womb of the mother. How this I relate with primary teacher. You are doing one, I mean, the best job is done by the primary teacher. Rest
Yeah.
is information, knowledge, of course, honing their skills, giving them to the different. But the first, few years, those 4 5 years, how many teachers you hold their hands and teach them how to hold a pencil, how to hold a pen, how to hold a book, how to wrap those, bags, and how to sit. It's very, 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 very encouraging from a primary teacher. Thank you very much. Anyone
Thank you so
else?
much. Thank you so much.
Anyone else?
May I?
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Sumaira, and I want to say that you said, how do you relate to something? I want to say that I relate to the whole wide world. I relate to every person in the universe. I believe that all of us belong to a light, and all of them belong to the light, and so do I belong to a light. So that's how all of us and me, I'm connected to all of them. And now the point where I do not belong to them, I believe in the idea of Sonder. It's Sonder, the idea of Sonder, that each and every person is different. So in that way, all of them are different from me, and I'm not like them. So that's my example.
Okay. Okay. What's your good name?
My name is Sumaira.
Sumaya. Sumaya, you
Sumaira.
teach? Uh,
Sir, I am a
s-
student, a
s-
BTech student.
okay. Okay. But we all are teacher. Sometimes we talk to our youngsters. We talk to the tiny tots in our home, or we go to relatives. I mean, all of us are teacher. We do teach at
Definitely.
every age. We teach. Have you ever experienced that when you were a student of fourth or fifth standard, you would always take that dupatta and you will start teaching some imaginary students sitting there,
Definitely, sir.
and you are teaching them, and we
Definitely,
start fancying those teaching skills quite early in our lives. Okay.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you.
Teacher
Thank
is
you.
like the most respected personality that ever is. I believe that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Come on.
May
Yes.
I, sir?
Yes. Why not?
Good afternoon, sir. At present, I am having a laptop in front of me. And two similarities how I can connect with the laptop. I take online class using a laptop, and even I use it for networking. And here I am to learn from you using a laptop. And two
Good.
ways it is different from me. It is an electronic device, and it either runs on battery or it takes electricity to run on, and that is how we are different from each other.
Great. What do you teach?
I am a CBSE school teacher. I take English in middle school. I At present I am in Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
Basically, I am
Thank
from
you.
Bengal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dev Jani, right? Dev
Yes,
Jani.
Devjani Mitra.
Dev Jani Mitra. Thank you. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, sir.
Dev Jani. Thank you very much. So, how can I forget those lines by Robert Frost? Woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. miles to go
Miles
before
to
I
go before
sleep.
I sleep. Yes, that's
Wow.
really
Uh,
wonderful lines by the poet.
yeah, yeah, and written 100 years back, but still it is so relevant in the contemporary world, uh,
Yes, yes, exactly, sir.
thank you.
Thank
And
you so much.
these lines, are quite relevant for a teacher also,
Definitely,
neither
we
we
have
become
to leave
landlords.
our footprint. We have to
Yeah.
leave footprint before we end our life.
Yes, because neither we are best businessmen, nor we are entrepreneur, nor we are going to accumulate so much of wealth. Teachers are paid moderately. you know it is only your passion which is actually helping you to, always working relentlessly for the growth of these children. Thank you very much. Yes,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Somebody else.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Myself Indrajit Sharma.
Hmm,
I'm a science teacher.
hmm,
During the COVID time, being a teacher, we have facing a lot of problems. Actually, I am teaching in Borgolai. It is a very backward place. There, it is true that the children have smartphones, but we are not able to communicate the students because some students don't have the knowledge about the technology. They have the knowledge about the technology, how to use the technology. During the time, that is why we are not able to communicate with the students. So what are the knowledge are there, we are not able to share with them. And during this pandemic, due to unable to provide us classes to the students, they are badly suffered. And these students are being promoted to the next classes. All the students are promoted to the next classes. And now my question is to you that the children who are not away from the classes, the children are away from the traditional classes. Some students are availing the benefit of that is virtual classes, but even though those students don't have the laptops or don't have the smartphone, they are not availing the benefit of this traditional class, that is virtual classes. So as a result, they are badly suffered. Now my question is to you: those students are suffered during the pandemic. How they will overcome? Actually, they are promoted to the next class. Now they will suffer because during the pandemic they have not learned anything because they are not in contact with the directly contact with the teachers. So they will suffer. So how they will overcome? My question.
right. Actually, look, this is a time where there is a transition phase. And very frankly, I can tell you, because we all are fraternity, we all belong to the same profession, we all are confused. More confused are our leaders. They are more confused. The people who are sitting, on the top, they are more confused, and nobody's thinking about it, that how these students are going to, learn, how they are going to come out of their number of inferiority complexes which they are going to develop. Because a student of 8th class is going to has been promoted to ninth, the student of ninth class has been promoted to 10th, and even student of 11th has been promoted to 12th, where he has learned economics, chemistry, physics, a number of new subjects which he has never come across, or she has never come across. Now they have been promoted without the basic knowledge what they need to, put in. It's a great question, but the answer is very, very simple, that you need to engage those students regularly. What I can say, that in Chandigarh few schools are practicing very good practice. They are into, they are calling the students after 7 or 8 days, and once the student come in the class, they engage them in for the 2 hour or 3 hours, and they talk about the basic things, elementary things, and they give them some assignments which they can do at home. Those assignments are more relevant, more practical, which they can do by themselves. So that is the only way you need to connect with them every fortnight, you need to connect with them every week. I mean, we as a school, we as an authority, we as the people, we need to decide. You need to parents should be educated that they should learn how to use smartphones. Students are to be educated that how to use those smartphones, because this learning through technology will become part and parcel of the life. It is very much sure. 100% sure that in the coming years, this learning, online learning, will be part and the parcel. And the best thing, we need to educate parents, we need to educate students how to use technology. It is very important. And secondly, we need to bring parents, teachers and student together. We need few parent teacher meetings where parents are to be educated about various, intricacies of kind of environment or kind of transition phase we are going through. So a lot of work has to be done by the school authority. You, me alone cannot do it. We need to engage the educators of that area also, because nobody is thinking about students. It is very sure. People are thinking about business, people are thinking about entrepreneur, people are thinking about, manufacturing industries, but nobody is thinking about students. The moment it start happening, they will say shut down the school, close the school. And closing school is not the solution. The solution is connecting with the student. So from my side, the solution should be to interact with the student regularly, call a parent teacher meeting where you can follow all those norms, where they can sit 5 or 6 feet or 7 feet away from one another, educate them, tell them, give them the demo, how to apply Zoom, how to work on Team, how to use that smartphone. There we need to talk to the parents, because sometime a student of 10 or 12 or 13 or 14 years may not understand, but the mother or father or any of the elder brother can understand how to connect. So these are the solution. We need to educate parents, we need to connect them, we need to call student to the school once in a week or fortnight, and we need to all the precautionary measures for the COVID. But we need to come out courageously. That courage मैं नहीं देख पा रहा हूं, वो करेज इस वक्त, है ना, स्टूडेंट्स में, पेरेंट्स में, इवन टीचर्स में नहीं देख पा रहा हूं, मैं वो करेज नहीं देख पा रहा हूं. माई ओन डॉटर वॉज कॉल्ड टू द स्कूल, and in the whole class of 10 plus 1, out of 150 students, there were only 3 students present in the class, and she attended almost all classes. Then there was a choice between online test or offline plus 1 final exam, and they gave the option, and everybody, 98% of parents and students opted for online classes. My daughter opted for offline classes. When she went into the classroom, there were hardly 11 students in the whole classroom. So your question is very relevant, but answer lies in all of us. We need to be courageous. We need to have the courage. It's not a very big thing. Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, we need to
Hello.
inform. We
Thank,
need to
thank you, sir.
connect. Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah, myself is Dr. Ashok Gupta.
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about this the current just now that one of sir there is no any the lack of knowledge of that handling the mobiles phone and the Zoom and the Google Meet. For that in our school we can arrange the one team. The in the parents, the mother parents, those who are educated, I make a group. They can teach the neighboring student. They have, they don't have the smartphone that time. They can go and touch with them, and he or she teach the important topic too. And the student, in student, those who are having the brilliant student, I make a group. They can touch with the another student, those who are weak in a study, so they can help the some important topics. And in our school, teachers, they are coming regularly, due to take a precaution of this pandemic, and they can call the student, the weak student, with their notebook and textbook, and they can explain the important topics, important points to those weak students. And they also call the brilliant student. They can first, they can explain all the important points, topics to that student, and that student help to the poor student. They can go their home and they can explain, you can do, you can solve like that. So in this way we can arrange, because our school in running in slum area. In slum area, see, the in the good area, or the parents, those who are the educated, they don't have the such type of problem. But in slum area, they are having the many problems, like the network problem, like a lack of smartphone. So in that area we are having the lots of problem. So we can decide it. So this is a pandemic. No, the government and everyone, they are hands up. So this is a, they can arrange a school also, they can don't open a school. So this is a not a solution, because the who will suffer is a parents, student. So for this we can arrange the group and we can go through with their studies. In this way we can going through this pandemic.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very, very practical. Very practical. That's what I was asking about, collaborative skills, because when once you engage students in that kind of collaborative skills, we always talk about foster teacher, foster parents, foster teacher, or mother teacher, as this gentleman was talking. That is very important. You can engage, because once you bring the parents in a parent teacher meeting once in 15 days, there you can divide into the subgroups. And as sir suggested, few of the brilliant students who are quite engaged, those 10 to 15 students who can take lead, they can help others. So by helping one and another and going with that collaborative skills, we can definitely find a lot of solution. Where there is a will, there is a way, right? Even in slum areas, what I have seen, when I visit rehabilitation centers and de-addiction center, I visit to the community. So there in the villages, they have provided a big screen, and there on that screen the student of the important classes are gathered together, and there they can join those classes. Because of government schools over here, they are having one school in one area, and that majority of students go to that school only. They are not going to the different far off schools, they are going to the area of that only that school. So such kind of things are, we need to find those solutions. Surely we ourselves needs to find those solution, and we need to. And what this gentleman talked about, he talked about critical thinking. First he analyzed the things, he looked at the data, he tried the reasoning, and he then gave the solution. And now he will take decision, and after taking decision, you will be going for the follow up, that how that idea worked. So thank you very much for your very much informative inputs. Thank you. Anyone else from your side? Because we are 73 people, and sometime when I'm taking the webinar, so I'm also working as a facilitator. I'm not an expert. I mean, more I know, the less I know. So you are more known people working in different area. For example, the last speaker who gave an answer to the one question, he's working in the slum areas. Possibly I'm not able to go there, but he has got that experience. In the same way, when you are working in the class, when you are taking class through Zoom meetings or team meetings, the same way you apply there also, because you engage students, you make student, because teach student to ask question to acquire information, it's very important. Teach student how to use class materials or the material which is available in the home. Give opportunity to handle the classroom. It is not there, then you class handle the class on the Zoom meeting also. I mean, for example, there are 40 students, you give few lessons to those students and ask them to prepare, and instead of delivering lesson yourself, you can ask one of the student to come up and talk about that topic for 10 minutes, and in this way one period can be utilized. Because you would definitely agree, in last year we all have experienced that finishing a syllabus is so easy. Within few weeks you can finish the syllabus, because there is ample time. So you can
Hello.
utilize that time by giving different platform to the different student. Yes, number of you, one of you want to talk.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Jagmohan Singh Jitana, Advocate Jagmohan Singh
Yes,
Jitana.
yes, Jagmohanji.
Sir, I think we must develop the critical thinking and reflective level of learning among the students. Last week, I found my son was taking the class on Zoom meeting, and I noticed the teacher was not so effective as she must be. His way of explaining the matter to students was not so effective as a teacher must be. So I think we need to educate the teacher first, teachers first, how to make the subject effective as well as interesting for the students. So I wanna know your views on the same.
Thank you very much, sir. Surely, critical thinking skill and reflective skill, thinking skill, both are more or less same. And black box thinking skill, these all come under critical thinking skill. And you are amazingly right. आप बिल्कुल सही, मतलब तुसी जो भी दसिया, that is wonderfully well placed, क्योंकि what you are talking about, this what we are lacking, and this is what teachers are also lacking. Yes, of course, I cannot pinpoint somebody that you are lacking in critical thinking skills, but how engaging I can make the classroom, that's very important. If I do not engage students in the classroom, that means it's a one-man show. Students are sitting there just like the way your son was sitting there. I am just here, I'm speaking. After 30-40 minutes, okay, I close this session. But this is what critical thinking analysis says, that we need to engage those students, because we need to ask them questions. Jagmohan ji, we do not, ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਣ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ shut up, I know better.
ਦੂਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਸਰ ਇਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਕਿੱਲ ਡਿਵੈਲਪ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਜੀ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ। ਮਤਲਬ ਸਕਿੱਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਡਿਗਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਰਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੇ। ਈਵਨ ਦਾ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ਾਈ ਟੀਚਰਸ ਹੈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੋਰ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਬੇਟੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਵਕਤ ਉਹਦੀ 9th ਕਲਾਸ ਹੈ, 45 ਦੀ ਉਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਕੰਪਿਊਟਰ ਤੇ ਟਾਈਪਿੰਗ ਸਪੀਡ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਟਾਈਪਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਸਿਖਾਈ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਐਫਰਟਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਕਲਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨੇ ਟੌਪ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੇ ਬਟ ਉਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਬਿਜੀ ਰੱਖਦਾ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਟੀਚਰ ਸਮਝਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਮੈਥ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਪੂਰਾ ਸਿਲੇਬਸ ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਵਾਇਆ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਤੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਜੋ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਉਂਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਫੈਕਟਿਵ ਹੈ। ਉਹੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਫੋਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਇਹ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਵੀ ਏਰੀਆ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕੱਢਣਾ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮਪਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਟੀਚਰ। भी मान लो कोई उन्होंने दिखावे, पिक्चर दिखावे भी आ एरिया है, आ इस चीज का घेरा निकालने का ये तरीका है कि चारों तरफ से ऐसे ऐसे चलोगे तो एक घेरा निकल गया, अगर बीच बीच में चलोगे तो एरिया निकल गया। तो ये इफेक्टिव तरीका है जो बच्चे को आसानी से समझ आता है, ठीक है जी। मैंने भी ईटीटी और कर रखा है, और पहले मुझे लेकिन प्राइवेट सेक्टर में टीचर बनना थोड़ा मुश्किल काम है, क्योंकि जो पे वो इतना करते नहीं स्कूलों में, ठीक है जी। इसलिए मुझे एज ए एडवोकेट काम करना पड़ा। लेकिन इंटरनली मैं टीचर बन के बहुत खुश हूँ कि मुझे लगता है कि जो हम लाख रुपया दे के स्कूल में जो टीचर हायर किए हुए हैं उनसे मैं अच्छा पढ़ा सकता हूँ, ऐसा मुझे फील होता है। ये जो जूम वाली क्लासों ने ना बहुत पर्दे खोल दिए टीचर्स के में कि टीचर्स में कितनी क्वालिटी है, ठीक है जी, क्योंकि अब साथ में पेरेंट्स भी Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you too much.
Right. Thank you. What in nutshell I would talk that Mr. Jagmohan was more talking about those effective critical thinking skill. That's very important. So the way I told you that story of searching those keys, you know, getting those keys outside, I need to see myself inside, and those reflective skills are extremely important. Thank you very much for your wonderful inputs. Any one of you wants to give your I gave you one task of relating these things, and as last person who gave his input, he also gave input that why don't we engage them? We need to engage them in various activities. For example, I may engage you right now. Okay, can you switch on your videos? If one of you can switch on your videos, can you switch on your videos? Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay. Thank you, Jagmohan ji. Thank you. Number of you can, I can see those number of you. Yeah, great. Okay. For example, if we are there and we can make them, ask them. Yes, there is a sometimes virtual problem. 50% of them may not be able to switch on their videos because of connectivity or because of internet. But yes, and unmute yourself. Kindly unmute yourself. Let it be a chaos, but kindly unmute yourself. Yes, yes. Unmute. Very good. Uh, yes. Very good. Very good. Unmute yourself and switch on your cameras. Okay. Okay. Let it be a chaos. No problem. We always live in chaos. In classroom, there is chaos. At least in there is sometimes so much of noise we cannot even listen. So there also we all can listen, and let's engage ourselves uh, in a manner. Jagmohan Singh ji, let's participate. You may follow me. Those who are not able to switch on the videos, kindly give me some cooperation in my verbal. Okay. Uh, let's see out in Hindi. Follow me. हम हैं
हम हैं
रात के
रात के
जादूगर.
जादूगर
ओके. ओ हम हैं हम हैं रात के जादूगर. हम रात के जादूगर. हम हैं रात के जादूगर. Got it. My dear friends, teacher can play with his energy anytime. Any one of you quietly switch on your video and audio. One of you can lead us and I will also perform with you. लाइनें यही रहेंगी. हम हैं रात के जादूगर. Come out.
Okay.
हम हैं
Yes.
रात के
हम
जादूगर
हैं. कोई एक one of you पूरा बोलिए और 2-3 अलग अलग वेरिएशन में बोलिए. यस.
हम हैं रात के
हम
जादूगर
हैं रात के. हम हैं
रात के जादूगर
रात के जादूगर. हम हैं रात के जादूगर. ग्रेट. क्लैप करते हैं सभी. काइंडली एंगेज इन क्लैप. लेट्स क्लैप विद वन पैटर्न. ओके जगमोहन जी हमें एक क्लैप का पैटर्न दीजिए. कोई डिफरेंट पैटर्न. मिस्टर जगमोहन एक डिफरेंट पैटर्न. फॉर एग्जांपल any one clap pattern. Any one clap pattern. Okay, Brijesh was there. Any clap pattern? You can give some clap pattern. Brijesh?
Yes, sir.
Any clap pattern, different clap pattern. Yes, Brijesh? Come on. Great. Thank you very much. Now you can mute yourself. Kindly mute yourself. Kindly mute yourself. Thank you. Mute everyone. I request to mute yourself so that there should be no disturbance. Now, in this small activity, we all got engaged. Though we have never met, But those who are passionate, they engage themselves. When you are handling 35 or 40 students who are known to you, and they are your class student, you can engage them in any kind of activity. So in between, while taking your classes, whether you are teaching science, math subject, physics, chemistry, economics, while teaching, you can engage them in any of such kind of fun loving activities, and students love it for few minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. We can engage them in some storytelling also, we can engage them asking questions also, we can engage them showcase their talent through their classroom, because virtual classroom gives us ample time after completing our syllabus. You can complete your syllabus so fast in the virtual classroom. So become little bit slow, engage them in different activities, give them some assignments, engage them some in the experiential learning, whether you are handling them through virtual classrooms or physical classrooms. Thank you very much. And in the end, I would like to definitely tell you one beautiful story which always very very close to my heart. Every time whenever I interact with the teachers, I always use this story. Yeah, last time I can just give you one. I mean, whatever we talk about, facilitating is helping in a group or identifying common objectives and offering the group process to achieve objective while maintaining neutrality. That is what a facilitator is. He is neutral, she's neutral, she's or he is offering some job to the students, asking them to do it, and whether they are doing right or wrong, let them do. Because if they will not commit mistakes, they will not learn. As Jagmohan, Mr. Jagmohan, you said very very well in the Mr. Jagmohan said it very very well, that in the school, first lessons are taught and then test is taken. Agree? First lessons are taught and then test is taken. In life, first test is taken, then lessons are taught. So means in real life it happens reverse. So we have to engage these students, we have to create these students in such a manner that collaborative skills, creative skills, communication, and critical thinking skills, these are required. These are really required. And in education in 21st century has different meanings at all. Now I will take another 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then we will say goodbye to one another. If you have any questions, you can ask. And if the person who are working on the back end, they might be having so much look on the SMS, and you can remind me something which is any question which is very important. And remember, there are 61 participants. Only Dilbagh is an expert to give answer. No, nobody is expert in this word. Anybody can give right answer of that question. Okay, okay. I'll give you one very good story. Kindly listen to it. You will enjoy also. Those who are attending it second time, they will also enjoying, and I will be also enjoying. There was a hat seller. There was a hat seller. एक hat seller था, एक टोपियां बेचने वाला था. I'm a teacher. Still you can see I'm a corporate trainer of 51 years, but I can tell you I'm enjoying this session. And there was a hat seller. He used to sell hats. He would go to the places by having that gathadi with a pile a pile of those hats, and moving around in the villages and moving around, and he's selling hats. There's a hat seller, kindly topiyan le lo, topiyan, kali topi, lal topi, topiyan le lo, and he would sell those hats and enjoy his work. And one day he was there. There was a huge tree. He sat under that tree. He took out the earthen pot, जिसको हिंदी में बोलते सुराही, बाण में बुनी हुई है ना. It was hanging with some rope, and he was having food also. He ate food, and he took that water, and he slept there for some time. He started dozing off, but some rays were coming out of the leaves. He took out one of the cap and put it on his head, and now he can stop those sun rays, and now he can doze off. He dozed off for a few minutes or 15, 20 minutes. He got up. Once he got up, he yawned it, and then the moment he started picking up that pile of his hats, The whole, bed sheet was empty. The whole bed sheet was empty. All the hats were, unavailable. All the hats were stolen. This man was very furious. He was very confused. He was anxious. He was looking around, but there was Vikar field, nobody was visible nearby. It was a, deserted kind of place, and he could not see anyone. He was so bothered. He was so confused. He was so, unhappy. And where my caps have gone? He looked around. After some time, he became so helpless. He looked up. He said, "Oh my God." And he could see those monkeys sitting by wearing those caps and looking at him. 50 or 60 odd monkeys sitting there on the branches of the tree. This man becomes furious and usko bahut jala gussa aata hai. And he says, "Come on!" And monkey also says, "Ko, ko, 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 ko." He says, "I will beat you up." Monkey also said, "Ko, ko, 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 ko." And then he abused them. And monkeys also started, because if we have those long abuses, they might be having some samples in their own language. They also hurled few abuses to this man. And after so many tiring attempts, he could not bring those caps. He put off that cap which he was wearing and he threw it on the floor, and immediately chan 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 chan, all caps got dropped by those monkeys. And he put out those caps again. And before going, he looked at those monkeys and said, "Okay, I'm going, but there are two lessons, two moral of the story. First, try, try, try. One day you will succeed. I tried. I did this. I did that. I did every effort. I could not get that. But once I threw my cap, answer was what in that throwing that cap also I got my cap. This lesson is for me, for hat seller, for the man. Try, try, try. One day you will succeed. But there is one lesson for you, monkeys." Monkeys were really furious. They were very, very furious. They were disheartened also. And then men said, "If you want to imitate somebody, you need wisdom to imitate. नकल के लिए अकल की जरूरत है. For imitation, you need wisdom. So, my dear monkeys, be wise." Taunting, after taunting, he, "टोपियां ले लो, टोपियां, काली टोपी, लाल टोपी." चला गया. Wonderful. Two lessons. One lesson for hat seller. Try, try, try. One day you will succeed. One lesson given to monkeys. For imitation, you need wisdom. नकल के लिए अकल चाहिए. करो करो करो, एक दिन जरूर सफलता प्राप्त करोगे. ये मेरे लिए. 100 साल बीत गए. 2021. Hat seller. Now the story begins from here. Now the hat seller is riding a bike. He's having these beautiful headphones. He's an MBA trainees from some big university, and he's having that bag, zipper bag. As an MBA, as a trainee, he got one project to sell few hats and those Amazon and all delivery. So he's a trainee MBA, and these days trainee MBAs go and join Amazon or Google or this and that and Flipkarts and all. He's having that bag full of under different caps, and he's riding a bike, and he's singing song and having those headphone of my latest headphone. "कहो न कहो ये आंखें बोलती हैं, ओ सनम ओ मेरे सनम." And he's riding the bike beautifully, where one person sits. He sits like a like a pigeon, and the other person sits on his back, like having that kind of pose, which is really sometimes it is very hilarious and ludicrous also. Anyhow, he stops at the same place, same tree, same place. Now the place has been developed very well. There's a college, there is a hospital, there's a playground, but that tree has been well maintained. Wow. He applied brakes, put his bike on the stand, sat near the tree, took out his tumbler, Tupperware. It is one of the brand of the good dibba, roti ka dibba. He took out the tumbler and he started, eating food. And there was a water bottle of Milton, chilled water. He took some chilled water. Again, he took some food and water. And after that, same place. And there is a probability after 100 years, same place, same trunk, same tree. And he started dozing off. He put his bag nearby him. Same place, sun rays are disturbing him. He zipped it off. He took one of the cap, put it on his head again, and he just dropped that cap and he dozes off. After 15 minutes, he gets up. The moment he gets up, he again yawns. And he looks at his bag. It is empty. All hats are unavailable. All hats are stolen. He's not stunned. He's not confused. He's not anxious. Even he's not furious. He laughs. I know, I know. I'm PhD, I'm DHD, I'm MA, I'm BA honors Dilbagh Singh from Punjab University, trainee. I know very well where those hat has gone now. Dilbagh looks up. Monkeys are sitting in the same posture. They all are dropping those, caps and looking at him. And Dilbagh does not become furious. He doesn't hurl any abuse. Rather, he says, "Mwah, mwah, mwah." Monkeys also reciprocates in the same manner. "Mwah, mwah." And then he says in a Shah Rukh Khan manner, "Hey, I love you." Monkey also says, "We love you." He says, "Oh, you know English?" They say, "Yeah, we know English. English Rapidex English speaking course, highly advised by Mr. Kapil Dev, and we adapted that, my dear friend." He says, "My God, so fluent English." "Yes, we have 5G also. We have Google also. We have Zoom meetings also. And there is a library upstairs, books written by engineer E. Sridharan, Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam Jr., Martin Luther King the Jr. We read about Mr. Gandhi also." He says, "My God, it is so big. You people are so learned." They say, "Yes, we are so learned, and you can call us for the guest lecture also." Sometime Mr. Dilbagh or somebody from Chandigarh was delivering a session on facilitating skill. It was so boring. You guys are still stick to those bad, old ideas. He says, "Okay, my, great, you have come a long way." "Yes, we have come a long way." Then he started, dancing. Monkeys also started dancing. Oh, pangra paing. Oh, monkeys also pangra paing. And he did this break dance, and they also did break dance. After 20, 30 minutes, he becomes a little bit tired. He says, "Okay, now it is a time to go back." He puts off his cap, throw it in the air. All the monkey throw it in the air. Then he throw this way, and all the monkey did in the same manner. He did few things of technique. For example, if this is a cap, he did it in a different manner, and then he threw it down and started counting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Not a single cap got dropped by the monkey. Not a single cap. Now Dilbagh is a little bit, anxious, little bit restless. Again, he did again so many juggleries. He started dancing. Monkey also started dancing. He put off the cap. He hurled it outside. They hurled it, everything they did. And then he threw. Not a single cap. Again, he picked it up. He put it on his head. He started jumping. They also started jumping. He started making different faces. They also started making different faces. They are here. But he did all his efforts, my dear friends. Not a single cap got dropped. Now, now, little bit. He asked them, "My dear friends, what has gone wrong?" One of the monkey jumped, stood in front of him. Man, monkey, monkey, man, looked into the eye of the man, the hat seller, and slapped him. Light slap, very light slap, just to embarrass him. And hat seller asked, why? You slapped me so tight. You have taken my hats also. So much of embarrassment. Why? Monkey said, what do you think, gentleman? Monkey. These are the words of monkey. What do you think, gentleman? Only you have had grandparents. क्या तुम्हारे ही बाप दादा और बुजुर्ग थे? We also have had grandparents and they have told us number of stories. This story was particularly told by my great 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 grandmother, that one day one man came and he befooled us. So my dear friend, learn some new techniques. These are outdated techniques. Go and learn. Hat seller was just in his tears. He took out those things which are left over. None of the cap was returned. He started to start his bike by pressing the button. One of the monkeys said, okay, last time you gave us a very beautiful advice. Moral of the story. You gave us a moral of the story. You need, for imitation, you need wisdom. नकल के लिए अकल चाहिए. Now, my dear friend man, we are giving you one moral story. Time and tide wait for none. Time and tide wait for none. Time once gone is bygone. So learn, my dear. Learn new stories. Learn new ideas. And always remember our moral. Time once gone is bygone. Old stories are always old story. Now you can go. Yeah. All of a sudden Dilbagh says, yeah, I need to rethink. We all need to rethink. We all need to rethink about critical thinking, collaborative skills, communication skills, creative skills. Facilitator. Who is a facilitator? Facilitator always helps to explore. Facilitator always providing situation and creating active learning. Facilitator engages student with his energy. Facilitator always gives lot of responsibility to the student and they learn it. He always welcomes questions. He always engages them in various projects, real life projects. Thank you very much. Thank you, though it was a short span, but this what we could interact, and of course being on virtual platform, it's sometimes difficult to connect, but I tried my level best, my dear friends. Time and tide wait for none. Let's relearn the things, re-explore the things. Let's become more and more aware. And every teacher has hidden treasure, and that treasure is known as teacher, as a facilitator. He or she is always a facilitator. Just you need that courage and passion to unfold that facilitator. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very, very much, sir. Such energy you have, and I bet all of us are so inspired from this lecture that you gave us today. Just a few announcements I would like to make. In case any of you respected ladies and gentlemen are interested in contacting the team of K.I.T.E S, we are providing all of the information in the comment section, and you can contact us in any way you want. And now talking about the participation certificate and the feedback, many of you guys have asked for it. And as it has been commented in the comment section, you guys will be getting a thank you mail. And within the thank you mail, you will be getting a feedback link. Once you fill the feedback form, you will be getting your participation certificate as well within 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 days. So thank you very, very much. Thank you so much, Mr. Dilbagh. It was so inspirational. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You all have the capability to, catch hold of everything. Just you need that kind of spark. It's a time to change. It's a time to change. And every person, as you said it in the beginning only, the dear host, that we all are unique, but we all are attached to that immense energy of the universe. Where there is a will, there is a way. Thank you. Thank you very much.
If any of you have any
Thank you.
questions,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Really recharge us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Kites. Thank you.
Thanks, Atan. Thanks, Atan.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
The
Thank you.
session
Thank you.
Thank,
Thank you.
just
Thank you,
thank you, sir.
Anshul.
Very good
Thank you, Anshul.
session.
have a good
Thank
day.
you,
Have
sir.
a good day, all.
Sir.
Thank you, Brijesh. Thank you, Brijesh Thakur. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Kanda Same. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
iSchool.
sir.
Thank you, Sunil. Thank you,
Thank you,
Anurag.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. It
Thank
was
you.
such a wonderful session.
Thank you, Gurmeet Kaur. Thank you, Free Soul. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
sir.
you,
Such
Mr.
a
Bye,
wonderful
sir.
Jagmohan. Thank you, Mr.
session.
Jagmohan.
Very nice. Very nice, sir.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day,
Merap,
sir.
thank
Happy
you.
Holi.
Thank you. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Inderjeet. Thank you, Sonia Katosh. Thank you, Ms. Indra. Thank you, Ms. Sanat Deep. Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. In fact, it was a very thought-provoking session, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Altaf. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kishore. Thank you. Thank you, Ajanka. Thank you, Altaf. Thank you. Thank you. It was refreshing for me also. Thank you. This is what all we can do. Thank you, Deep. Thank you. Thank you, Altaf. Thank you. Thank you. Be in touch. Thank you. Thank you, Ashish Jain. Thank you. Thank you, Deep. Thank you. Thank you.
once again, the feedback form will be provided you in the thank you mail that you receive. आप एक thank you mail receive करेंगे, उसमें आपकी feedback link आपको provide की जाएगी. जब आप feedback form fill करेंगे, उसके बाद आपको within 2-3 days आपकी participation certificate भी मिल जाएगी.